Godless engineer, a conscious pioneer, a logic general, a reason brigadier. More bullshit from the pulpit. Meet me in the comment section and you get schooled, bitch. The Godless engineer.
Well, hello everybody, and today we have Creationist Cat with us. How are you doing, Creationist Cat?
Oh man, I'm doing pretty well. Can't complain. Just really excited to talk and engage with all the sodomites out there.
Oh yeah, we've got a lot of sodomites on my channel. One guy in particular, Hector. He's a particular, he likes to delve into the sodomy and shit.
I've heard of this, Hector. There's been much talk.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so in your videos, when you start out, you say that you got zapped by God and given a whole lot of information.
Yes.
Why did God have to zap you? Why couldn't he just magically think it into you?
Well, no offense, Godless engineer, but this question is totally freaking stupid and retarded beyond belief. I don't mean that as an insult. It's just, kind of some constructive criticism. But, see, God obviously does not need to do anything. He makes his own rules, and his behavior is subject to his own whims, much like that of a cat, in fact. But, the truth is, I've never asked God personally about this. Partially because, like I said, the question is just so freaking retarded. I almost feel like I need to be wearing a crash helmet just even thinking about it. But if I take this retardation run amok that you've presented to me seriously, I'd have to say that this decision probably was made in part because it was just convenient to use the internet. I mean, God didn't really have to get out of his bedroom or his living room, wherever he was at the time. And, I do believe, aside from that, there was a great significance to choosing the internet. I mean, he knew that the internet would ultimately be the conduit through which I would spread his word. So, there's pretty much, I guess you could say, like a poetic perfection to it all. And, yeah.
Okay,
So that's,
well,
there you go.
what makes God the most plausible answer? I mean, couldn't it have just been a short in the electrical system or something?
Well, first of all, it looked exactly like God. So I don't know who else that would have been. And we've talked about it since then, and he's never really let on that it wasn't him that day. So if it wasn't God, then he's lying, and I don't believe that that's in his nature. He's never lied to me before. So I don't think that he has a reason to start lying to me now. And if it was an electrical short, I'd be totally freaking dead, more than likely. At the very least, my fur would have been singed, and it wasn't. So clearly, this possibility is highly, highly impossible and improbable. And you're an idiot just for thinking that it could be.
Yeah, I kind of expected that kind of response. So I guess God has special lightning that he zaps people with, like it's not just electrons. Because I mean, ideally they'd both be the same. But anyways,
Well,
just
I do not know the chemical composition of what he zaps. To tell you the truth, I'm not even sure if he zapped other organisms or other animals, human beings. For all I know, I very well might be the only one. So,
okay. Well, how long has it been since he zapped you? I mean, I don't know how long it was until you started, speaking on the internet, but how long has it been?
well, the first time, I mean, running on about 4 years now. Every now and then, he gives me a little zap when I'm kind of running a little low on energy, and I need a little pick me up. but really the main principle zapping that transformed me from an ordinary house cat into a super intelligent agent of the Lord. That was about I believe summer of 2011.
Okay, so relatively recently. Um, and just be honest here. Did you poop a little when he did it? I know I would have pooped if I got zapped by anything.
No, no, the Lord did make sure that I did not shit myself. I also have excellent bowel control. I did, however, cough up a hairball 30 seconds later, though, that was the spitting image of Pat Robertson. So something was eventually ejected from my body as a result of the whole ordeal, but not poop, nothing fecally related.
Okay. Well, are you suggesting that maybe Pat Robertson is just a big hairball?
That is actually a very, very interesting theory that, to tell you the truth, I really haven't pondered that before. Are you suggesting that my hairball brought Pat Robertson into being? Is that what you're suggesting here?
Well, no, it wouldn't be so much as you bringing him into being. It would be that, Pat Robertson is so old. Why is he still alive? But if he would have died and then been replaced with a hairball that looks just like him, it might account for a lot of things.
Well, we don't know who his mother is. So I guess possibly it is conceivable that some sort of, kind of divinely inspired cat over 80 years ago coughed up a hairball, and that hairball grew up to be Pat Robertson. But, I kind of think he probably isn't, because I've seen the man do like everyday activities. I've seen him on CBN, and I haven't seen hairballs that kind of preach the word of God. So I'm going to say no on this.
Okay, fair enough. Just curious. I always see you in a house. Do you have an owner, or are you like an independent person?
Let me ask you: do you want me to pounce out of this interview right now? Is that what are you trying to push my buttons and get me to leave?
Maybe right, meow.
Oh, all right then. It's on. You're trying to you're just trying to insult me now, huh? You got an opportunity to talk with a super intelligent feline cat who talks, and this is what you do. You're just gonna try and be offensive and make me leave. That's what you're gonna do?
Well, I'm not trying to be offensive, right, meow.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what you're doing, though. I mean, would you ask LeBron James if he had a slave owner? Would you do that?
Well, maybe if like I saw him in like I don't know what they used to keep slaves in, but I would query that. I'd just be like, do you have like an owner or something? That's a little illegal, at least right, meow.
Okay, well, the answer is no. I am not owned. I have human minions that are part of my ministry who tend to my needs, but nothing that could be described as an owner. And this is just a really insulting and disgusting line of questioning here. And as for the house, I built it myself. All right, I built it with my own paws, and I furnished it with change I found on the street.
So you wander the street looking for change?
I just find it.
Okay. um.
The Lord provides.
Oh yeah, I know he does. Why does he provide to you though? Why doesn't he provide to the homeless?
Because I'm the Lord's chosen cat. I mean, he kind of, I get preferential treatment. It's simple as that.
Okay. All right. So, exactly how many pones do you have notched on your collar?
Well, I don't wear a collar, dick face. But if I did, I'd say about 1 billion. Yeah, that's a conservative estimate.
Okay. Well, I guess that kind of answers my next question that I have, because in the Dom sub community, you put collars on the sub, and I was kind of wondering who you were submissive to, but I guess since you don't wear a collar, you might be the dominant.
Yeah. That sounds like a pretty stupid freaking question right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. um, So, you mentioned that you have some human minions that kind of tend to your needs. Do y'all get pretty freaky?
Next question.
Okay, so how did it feel to pwn the atheist experience?
Well, that pwn was bittersweet because although I totally pwned the freaking crap out of them and exposed them as the factually bankrupt fart faces they truly are, I wasn't really expecting for feelings between Tracy and I to develop. I honestly felt a vague twinge of guilt when I had to blow up their freaking heads. And yeah, but that being said, I'm proud of that ponying. That was a good one.
Yeah. Have you ever lost a pwn? Just curious.
No, never, not once.
Okay, I guess that was another stupid question of mine. My bad. So what has been your favorite pwnage?
Well, my pones are kind of like my children. I love all of them equally, but if you had to press me for my faves, I'd have to say I did a video titled "Coughlin's Minion Gets Pwned." I think that's the title of it, and that one is definitely amongst my best. I also believe my recent pwnage of the Amazing Atheist was quite glorious.
Yeah, I saw that one, and I thought you did an excellent job pwning TJ. Dude, what do you have in mind for future pwns?
Well, I'm contractually obligated not to discuss future pwns. So I'm sorry about that, but you could just expect that I will continue to pwn the best and brightest in the atheist and skeptic community. Although that's not I'm not really trying to compliment them. Like the best and brightest in the atheist and skeptic community is still pretty stupid and not very bright at all. But yeah, that's my answer. There you go.
Well, okay, so I guess that's why I'm not on the list yet, is because I'm, just too high above these other geniuses. I got it. I get you. Okay, so Creationist Cat, what actually constitutes as you successfully pwning someone?
Well, poundage is a concept that encompasses so many different things, but I'd have to say that if I made you look like an idiot, exposed your claims as garbage, or maybe even just photoshopped a stupid hat onto your head, then you've been pwned.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just glad that there's no real arguments in your pwnage, so that makes me feel better.
No, there's plenty of arguments. There's arguments galore.
Well, okay. I wouldn't. I don't know how a hat on a head is an argument, but I mean, I'll let you define your own pwnage.
The argument is you've got a pretty stupid hat on your head, and I don't see how you can argue with that. It's empirically true.
Empirically true. Well, do you use like a fedora, or is it just kind of any stupid hat?
I use a wide range of hats. I like to vary it up. I don't like to be predictable. And you know, certain hats won't be the correct hat for certain sodomites. I'm kind of like a you know, a wardrobe supervisor in that way.
Okay, that's interesting. All right, so Creationist Cat, you know, some of your earlier videos, you had something called the Kitty Crew. I'm just kind of wondering if you're going to be bringing them back, or you know, what happened to them.
Well, for those who don't know who the Kitty Crew are, that was a team of ragtag kitty pwners that I assembled for one of my old videos from about 2011, I believe. Maybe it was 2012. And that I believe was Gracious Cat versus Happy Cabby, or Gracious Cat versus the World. Maybe you can leave a link for that video for those who, you know, want to go do the research themselves. And the answer to your question is, well, yes, I still hear from the Kitty Crew from time to time, but, you know, our relationship has unfortunately been strained over time. See, when you're working with Keyboard Cat and OMG Cat, especially, you're not just working with a bunch of cats. You're dealing with some mammoth egos there. Egos that, in my estimation, are greatly unwarranted. And you know, when we pwned to Happy Cabby together, that was undoubtedly one of the great pwns of the last decade. So you know, it received a lot of adulation, and that was great. And they deserved it, even though I was responsible for about 99% of that pwning. But you know, pretty soon the Kitty Crew expected a share of my AdSense revenue, and they wanted to be on my channel more. They wanted a free ride, basically. And you know, as much as that would have been cool for them, Creationist Cat has Creationist Cat to worry about. And the Kitty Crew didn't really like that answer. But, you know, I was working on trying to get them involved again. But to be honest, things turned ugly real fast. OMG Cat was dealing with a soul consuming catnip addiction. He was freebasing it like a maniac, and just a, you know, just a really disgusting compulsion that nearly destroyed him. And you know what? I probably shouldn't say anything else about them, not out of respect, but because I think that maybe they'll make up lies about me in retaliation, and they have lawyers, and you know, I don't want to be sued for slander, even though that I'm not technically slandering them. I'm just telling the truth. So yeah, I think we should probably move on to the next subject here.
Okay. Well, I know that you're a creationist, but you know, Ken Ham's a creationist too. I mean, do you really believe the same things that he does?
There might be a slight bit of disagreement on certain subjects here and there, but overall, sure, man. I mean, the guy's a genius.
Oh, he is. Oh, so what do you think about his Ark Encounter project?
I think the Ark Encounter project's pretty awesome because, well, we all know that the second coming is soon going to be upon us. And I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking maybe there might be a little, you know, another biblical flood in store, which means that ark is going to become pretty handy. And you know, I'm sure that I'll have a space on that ark. And yeah, but you know, even if it doesn't come, it will. But even if it doesn't, I still think it's pretty cool for you know, people to see like the real arc, or what you know, it's not the real arc, but it's a facsimile, and that's it's pretty. I think it's a great use of $18 million worth of tax dollars.
Oh, well, you know they got that stripped away from him, right?
They did.
Yeah, they did.
Oh God, what a travesty.
Okay. I don't know if I would label it a travesty, but I understand your point of view, CC. So I'll leave it at that. Do you think that there might be like any kind of skeletons in Ken Ham's closet?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Well, what kind of skeletons do you think it might be in there?
I don't know. Maybe he's a pedophile. Maybe he's like murdered some people. Maybe he likes to stick his penis in side of beehives. I don't know. But I don't think that these sorts of things should like I think people should be judged on the merits that they do for Christianity and creationism. And I mean, we should be able to overlook and ignore these things because basically, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, the Lord is kind of a serial killer himself. And I mean, he's done all sorts of things that if he was a human being, he'd probably be either serving a life sentence or just executed for. So he's pretty awesome. So why can't we overlook other foibles that people like Ken Ham do when we consider the greater good that they do for the world?
Greater good, like building a crappy ark.
It's not a crappy arc. That's going to be a damn good arc.
Well, I don't know. I'm skeptical that they're going to
be fully functional.
Well, I'm skeptical that they're going to actually be able to put all the animals on the ark. I mean, they do have the top that's going to be like kind of a restaurant.
Just look. We'll break it down like this, okay? First of all, most of these animals are going to be babies, okay? You're going to bring in the babies. A lot of them are just going to be eggs, okay? You're going to have like a portion of the ark which just has kind of like a, just a series of contraptions that hold these eggs in place, keep them from, shattering, and also keep them warm at kind of like a steady temperature. That's that right there. That's about 20% of the animals to begin with. Then you've got all these babies, and the babies can just be stacked on top of one another. Okay, like
like pancakes.
More or less, okay? I mean, and this is the thing, these animals are gonna understand that this is, that this is kind of a sacrifice that they have to make. They have to, for about like 90 days, they're gonna have to be a little uncomfortable for a while because God commanded it. So they'll believe me. It's all gonna work out, I mean. Just wait until it happens. You'll be impressed.
Well, I hope I am impressed because at this point he's moving as fast as Noah. He's only moved a bunch of dirt around, so I guess we'll just get to see. So what current events are important to you, Creationist Cat?
Well, recently, I believe that Kentucky. Was it Kentucky or Oklahoma? I forget. They repealed rights, gay marriage rights for gays and transgender people. I think that this is a real win for us. However, I'm starting to think that maybe us Christians have to rethink this whole gay marriage thing. I mean, it does kind of seem inevitable that the gays are going to be able to, like get married and do all these gross things that we're not cool with. It's really because they're like, there's all these depictions of them in like sitcoms and stuff these days, and they're in commercials and stuff. People are seeing them all over the place, and it's just really hard for us Christians to like, you know, get everybody to understand how freaking disgusting and horrible and worthy of God's wrath they are. So what I'm thinking is that we need a new group to discriminate against. Okay, we've got them. I mean, like right now, our big group is the gays. We need to move to another minority within society that doesn't really have as much appreciation from mainstream appreciation. And I'm thinking that group should be the Scientologists. Everybody's talking about Scientology these days, talking about what a bunch of crap it is, and that is that is an issue that is a rare point of agreement with both creationists and atheists alike. So there's only about 50,000 of these guys apparently. So I say we make them the new kind of just the discriminated against group. And who knows, man? Maybe we can make them into slaves or something. I mean, let's get creative with this. If we did that, we could split them up state by state. Each state would get about like 5,000 Scientologists. I think that they would do a great deal of good in the community. They could be put to hard work, and honestly, I mean, it would be like some real comeuppance for John Travolta, who of course was a slave master in Battlefield Earth. So I think it would all work out in the end.
So are you kind of insinuating that Battlefield Earth was some kind of good movie?
Insinuating it? I'm boldly declaring it. That movie is a work of genius.
Okay then. I disagree along with, critics. So now earlier in the interview here, you talked about, how it's pretty bad of me to bring up, you being a slave, but you're okay with enslaving Scientologists?
Well, sure. Why not? I mean, like I said, there is a biblical precedence for these things, and I believe that they have it coming.
Okay. I don't know if they have it coming. I think that probably them losing all their money, they kind of had it coming. Of course, then again, I'm not like a 5th level Thetan or something. But and finally, to round off our interview today, if somebody wanted to get pwned by you or challenge you to pwn them, what would be the best way to do that?
The best way to do that would probably be to have a channel with over 50,000 subscribers, preferably closer to 75,000 to 100,000. At that point, if you say anything remotely incendiary about me, I'll probably pwn you. That's really the key right there, to tell you the truth.
Oh, okay, so you're just pretty much wanting notoriety. I gotcha.
CC's in it to win it.
Well, Creationist Cat, I really enjoyed having you here today, and I hope there's no friction between us, because I hope that maybe someday in the future you'll grace me with your presences again.
Yeah, it's cool. You kind of rubbed me the wrong way there with a couple of your questions, but hey, it's all good, man.
Okay, awesome, bro fist. But again, thank you for joining me for the interview, and I hope you have a good rest of the day.
Later, Sodomites.